Coach, just on the choice to come to South Africa, as a head coach, I can imagine that yes, the club has got a vision of expanding its support base, but they would have consulted with you a lot. Why was for you South Africa the best time to come here?
Let me say like this, it was clear. I think I heard several months ago, I heard about this opportunity to go to South Africa, and it was of course very important for me that all the conditions surrounding whatsoever, that they suit to what we need to be the best possible preparation for us. But my feeling was that everybody in South Africa, in this region, would try to do everything that was possible to make this a good camp for us. And I think it was a good opportunity for us as a team. Of course, first priority to have a good couple of good games, a lot of good session on the pitch, but secondary we also have opportunity to grow as a team, learn a little bit about the culture of South Africa, get some experience back from here that we can take with us as a team, and that's why I at the end decided to let us take this opportunity to go and meet South African and South African people.
I look at the venue that you've chosen. It's a place that was also the training base for the 2010 World Cup. How do you find the facilities here?
So far, I'm very pleased. They have done everything they could here in terms of facilities, pitches, rooms, food. We have our own greetkeepers, cook. We have everything with us, but still the people here are doing everything they can to make it good for us. I've heard, I haven't seen the stadium so far where we're going to play tomorrow, but I heard that the pitch is also very good there, and I hope of course there will be a lot of supporters, fans that will have the opportunity to see a club from the Bundesliga play as well. So I hope a lot for a lot of supporters will join in tomorrow, watch the game.
Coach, how much do you know about your opponents for tomorrow and for next week? You play TS Galaxy, but obviously tomorrow you play Young Africans. How much do you know about them?
I've seen a couple of games, so I know a little bit, maybe not in details about the individual players, but I know, let me say, their formation. I know a little bit about how they are playing, but my focus is a lot on our way of playing, to develop our style. We have some new players that I want to implement in our way of playing, so our focus is on our team, but I think it's a good opportunity for us also to play against other teams, another way of playing, and I think that will suit good to our planning now.
Can you tell us about your new recruits, especially the two strikers that you brought in, what you like? I mean, two very physical boys. I can see that's clearly what you like in a player.
Yeah, it's clear when I look at them as well. I maybe have to look up, although I'm also, let me say, a tall guy. But that was something that for me we missed last season in our squad. That was not only big guys, because that doesn't mean anything. No. It's the football player, and there we see in Sende, he's the fast guy. He can run deep. He has agility. He can score goal. On the other hand, Munier is more the guy with the back towards goal, the link-up player, the clever player. And added to the rest of our team, I think they can suit perfectly into our way of playing.
Coach, how would you describe your coaching philosophy? How would a team that plays under you ideally look? Not to give away all your secrets for tomorrow.
The first question regarding my way of leading player, my style, my philosophy, I think I'm an open, honest guy. I like to be very close to the players. I would like to know not only something about the football player, I also need to know something about the human being behind the football player in terms of family, background, whatsoever. Then I have a better opportunity to work with a player, and of course my goal is to win some games in the weekend, but it's also about develop the individual players and the team. That is my main goal to come to this club, is to build a strong fundament. Then we can always talk about tactical things. Let me say like this, I have an offensive mindset. I was a former striker, so I like to have an offensive mindset in everything we're doing, both with and without the ball.
Coach, maybe what are some of your ideal targets for next season? Because last season you finished 11th, and the season before it was number 15. So there's improvement there. So going to next season, maybe what are some of your ideal targets?
Yeah, you can say I took over when the club was, let me say, more or less at the bottom, but we make a turnaround, and we were almost achieving playing in Europe, which would have been a very big achievement for a club like ours. And the aim for next season will always, for a club like us, be staying in the league, but we have been there now 14 years in a row. So the next season we'll try to make even better result than last season. So that means we need to be better than 11. And if possible, then of course I think every team has to aim for Europe. If that is possible, that will also be our aim. But still, I still look into the future. So for me, it's also a building a foundation that can grow over the next coming years with the guys from our own academy, all those kind of things. That's a secondary thing that we're also working on for the moment.
Coach, you're obviously from product of Denmark. We've seen the Danish national team do great things over the past 10 years. Danish coaches all over Europe at some of the top clubs. You see at Brentford, for example. One of the influential figures of Danish football came to South Africa for our top club, Mamelodi Sundowns, Flemming Berg. Just his reputation and what you know about him. I don't know if you know him personally or anything, but his reputation and what you know about him.
I actually know Flemming very well. I worked with him at that time when I was under 21 national coach for the national team. He worked in the federation at that time, so we have a very close connection. And he's not only a great guy, a great person, he also is very clever on football. He can see football. He's strong in develop clubs, players. So I think it's a great opportunity for South Africa to have a guy like this joining a club here. And as far as I can see, he's doing a great job.
Have you been following him a lot, especially now that Sundowns is also going to the Club World Cup next year?
I'll not say I've followed him a lot, but I have followed him. I think it's every Danish coaches, players who are playing in all over in Europe or in the world is exciting to follow, and Flemming is one of them. And I think it's great to see that guys also sometimes take a chance to go into another side or part of the world and see if he can do a different. And I definitely think Flemming is doing a great job, and congratulations to him that he ended up in the position he did last year. So he next year is going to play also in let me say, in another competition. So great for them.
And I think it was during his era or their era when he was in the FA that also we see the turnaround of Danish football, producing not only good players but top coaches as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I worked with him. He did a great job already there, so that's probably also why he now have opportunity to go somewhere else to make this development also in another place in the world. And I think that's great that we as let us say Danish people, which is a very small country with not many people, but we still have the opportunities to go around in the world and develop players, clubs, whatsoever.
I think it was a long time ago that in South Africa we had a player at Augsburg. I think it was Mbabane, and also, okay, not from South Africa, but from Zimbabwe, Knowledge Musona as well. During your trip here, maybe do you also have an eye if you see someone who impresses you?
Yeah, we actually brought our chief scout with us on this tour because of course we are interested to build our own team as strong as possible, but of course when we're here, when we're gonna play in the tournament, when we're gonna watch the other team, if there's anything exciting going on, for me it's also a new experience to play against the South African team, to see what kind of players, what kind of impact can they do in a game. So I'm excited to play those two games and let us see what happens.
And Coach, sorry, go for it.
Okay. And Coach, I see during your time at Copenhagen, Luther Singh, a South African player, was there. How was he under you?
Yeah, we brought in Luther at a time where he's sorry for him, had some injuries, so it was in the beginning very difficult for him actually to get a place inside the squad and on the pitch. Even though he played some game, he was a great guy working with. He had some great skills. Sorry for him, it didn't really make his breakthrough in Copenhagen, but he managed to go in there and made a great effort. So I just wish him the best for the future.
Just wanted to ask, your last season was an incredible season with what Leverkusen achieved. I wonder what that does, I was asking the players as well, to the mentality of the rest of the league, to not just have a club like Leverkusen win the Bundesliga, but to do it the way that they did. How does that change their approach, and even to show that maybe that Bayern is not this invincible monster? Does it bring new belief for the rest of the Bundesliga?
Yeah, I think it makes all of us believe that everything is possible, that it's not always Bayern Munich who will win the league every year. I think Bayer Leverkusen made a great season. They did what nobody expected, played a whole season without more or less losing a game and achieving winning the league and the cup. So they made a great job, and that's inspire all of us to see if we can, if not doing the same, then at least have the opportunity to achieve something, and that was great.
Yeah, Coach, during your time, even at Copenhagen, I'm sure even when you've left, you continue to watch Danish football, and I'm sure you would have analyzed him a lot, because one of our boys has been there for some time now. You've been playing against him at AGF, at Gift Links. I mean, from a distance, we just admire how he's grown as a player. He went to Denmark as just a skinny boy playing on the wing, but now we see him more with some good defensive qualities as well.
Yeah, that's right, and that's of course what we hope for in Denmark, that we also can bring in players and give them opportunity to develop. And Gift had an amazing development over the last year. As I first saw him playing in AGF, as a small guy coming, yes, he could do a couple of dribblings, but he was too skinny. We didn't believe in him, but over the years, I think he developed now to be a great player in the league, and I think for the South African player, people seeing that is also opportunity to go to Europe and achieve something, I think it's great.